If you're new to commuting to work, you shouldn't necessarily feel that you've got to keep up with everybody else. Knowing where you're going before you set out is one of the keys to being confident, particularly if you live in a city. Generally, there's a maze of roads. Most of them are very quiet, and you can find yourself a lovely route. You have the same rights and responsibilities as any other road user. They are set out in the highway code. But also, when it comes to priorities, don't assume that just because something's bigger than you, you have to give way to it. Don't ride in the gutter. It might feel safer to be closer to the edge of the road, but firstly, that's where all the glass and the grit and the drain covers are. It also encourages drivers behind you to think about overtaking you when it might not be safe to do so. You never want to be within a door's width of a parked car. The door could open, so you are much safer a bit further out. You're also more visible, you're more in the eye line of the drivers, so they're going to be more conscious of you there. That sort of brings you on to communication with other road users. You need to let them know what you're going to do before you do it. If you can make eye contact with drivers, who knows why, but it just works. They know that you're about to do something. If the road is going to get narrower, that's a prime situation where you need to move out to indicate to them that it's not safe to overtake me at this point. If you're going up the inside of a queue of traffic and you know that there's a side road coming up on your left, one of the drivers might have given way to somebody who wants to turn across you. So that's a sort of situation where you just need to keep your wits about you. Particularly, I would say, just keep your wits about you at junctions. If an incident is going to happen, then it's likely to be at a junction. Try to avoid roads that large vehicles are likely to use. But the number one rule to remember around large vehicles is that they have much worse visibility than the average car drivers. So whether it's stationary or just moving slower than you, do not go up the inside, because the chances are they won't be able to see you, and that puts you in danger. When those drivers are just passing you, it can feel a bit intimidating at first. And if you've been doing everything that I've said about making sure that you're visible, they will give you space. But if you're feeling very, very nervous about it, then pull over and wait until they've gone. Cycling in rural areas is beautiful, but generally speaking, you won't have such a choice of routes. So sometimes those roads will be a bit busier. On particularly tight country lanes, it can feel a bit strange sometimes to be cycling effectively in the middle of the road. But drivers will hopefully understand why you're doing that. You won't look back. You really won't regret the decision. You're in a state of heightened awareness. It's zen-like, actually. I think that's why so many people who do it really love it. You absolutely can't think about anything else.